Hello everyone. Uh, is there any sound? Yeah, there is, but for some reason YouTube tells me there is not any no sound. Okay. Um, welcome to the stream. Uh, Unexpected, I know that we have a stream today, because usually on Saturdays I can't manage to stream. Well, this is a pretty great game actually. And starting off, let me warn you, there's lots of spoilers here. So if you want to play this game, it's called The Forgotten City. Probably shouldn't watch it, although it's up to you. I noticed that loading times are kind of long in this game. Probably longer than you would think it would require. But on the other hand, there's no like loading screens when you change interiors and exteriors or any of that kind of stuff. We left off last time when we jumped into this pool that was broken down by some other dude who jumped here, but he's probably dead.
Thank you.
I think the objects have loaded in. I didn't even notice there is a...
Magistrate.
They're
Thank you.
absent,
Deeply honored.
so to say.
Thanks to your majesty. And now.
Okay, let's speak to the guy.
Now. Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above?
Yes.
That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
What's your story?
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
What will you do if you win? Oh, I mean, I get it. I thought that at first he asked him, what if you don't win? So he's asking basically about his policies.
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
How will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
That's pretty interesting. What makes you sure it's not real?
The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the Golden Rule is real?
There's probably a way to convince him. Let's say the Golden Rule is definitely real.
Nonsense. There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, then accepting will make a city a better place. Isn't that a good thing? Oh, that's pretty cool. He probably wants the truth most of all. So it wouldn't work on him though. Let's say I'm reliving the same day all over and over again. The golden rule is broken each time.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
What would it take to prove you it's real? Books or notes?
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
Yeah, that's true. So, I'm not sure he will be convinced by anything. Okay, let's say it's good either way. I like his eyebrow. He's like a super skeptic or something. That's pretty cool. I'm liking the animations in this game. They're super funny. Okay.
I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
I can see nothing I can say is going to convince you.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
It's so strange. Like, if he values freedom so much, wouldn't he be kind of more wary of the fact that he cannot escape this place? What do you think about the golden rule?
You mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants?
Yeah, I see that. I'll be going
I
though.
trust you can see yourself out.
Probably.
Through the door this time? There's a key just beside it.
Okay. At least I have the key now. Well, couldn't I just jump from the... Wait, yes I could, I guess. Although then I wouldn't have the key. There's supposed to be water here. But it's like it doesn't make any sound. It's soundless water.
Still here?
Still here, yes. Does he have anything interesting to loot or read? There's probably a note somewhere with something. Oh, look at that. Note from Ayulia. Suicide note. Presumably directed at Malleolus. Yulia to her captors, Malleus and Claudia, curse you to the depths. Oh, that's a J. It looks like an I. By the time you read this, I'll already be dead, because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all eternity. And that's cool. The reading mode. Oh, I didn't know I could do this. No, I think it's an I. Maybe the Romans wrote down J as an I before. Note from Ulpius. Ulpius to his lost love. May God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in Gan Eden. Yeah, Gan Eden. What's Gan Eden? Roman heaven. He does not appreciate me rummaging through his stuff. So there's nothing interesting here. I'm not sure what he's so upset about. Isn't there like a second floor? Looks kinda like it. But I don't see... Oh, there you are. The stairs. Oh, there's someone subbing. think somebody saw the dude falling down. That's why they're crying. Oh, I know. I probably could talk to him if I go here before the guy jumps.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected.
I forget that you have to walk through the doors. Let's talk to the gladiator. Maybe this time he would say something instead of cursing me.
What now?
What's your story?
My name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me.
I have the key. Well, why are you dressed like a gladiator?
Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
Okay, but you're nowhere near an arena.
You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners.
Could I ask him how he came to be here?
The name's Domitius.
Let's try. Fair enough. Oh, he doesn't answer with anything if I pick that. Do you know a way out of here?
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah, this place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see.
What do you think about the golden rule?
I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected.
How is he going to do that?
He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
Sounds right. Can I help in some way?
We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem.
I'll be going then.
Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
He has an interesting helmet. It clips through his flesh. So if he tried to...
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stirkus? If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
He wanted to rotate to face me, but he stopped halfway. I should ask more people around town. There's someone here. She seems to be upset, if anything. Though I'm not sure if that's like... Oh, that's just dirt, I guess. Okay, let's... Oh, that's Lucretia. Have I talked to her before?
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned.
She's-
She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumbulatus Decius won't give it to me.
Try to persuade Decius. Who is Decius? Is that the guy I talked to? Sorry, I wish I could help.
It's too late. She just slipped away.
I was hoping to chat, should I come back later? What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of Silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Damn, that's really interesting. If I get her alive, maybe the plot will thicken even more.
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out.
I'll see what I can do. I wonder why I get pop-ups for suspecting anyone, when it's basically just a guy walking in and shooting from his bow, basically. Although, I guess there is a mystery of who that might be. I mean, it was a white man, so I don't know. I keep hearing the statues whispering. Is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
I forget said anything.
Anything about what?
Yeah. Can we talk about Julia?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Do you think she was poisoned or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
Do you know what poisoned her?
Hemlock, I believe.
Is there a reason why she might have wanted to die?
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolas's villa, and they are quite secretive.
Malleolus is really strange.
Gladly.
Everyone hates him. What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Okay. Tell me about Naevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means.
Is it
I
our
just know
gladiator
Olivia would
friend?
know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I have the key to her old chest. Perhaps I can find what you need in there.
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how you go.
I have no idea where the chest is. Your brag. Mortal and pestle. Haven't changed much in the last millennia. Yeah. You could see kind of how, you know, Skyrim influences this.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Because there is like mortar and pestle, all that stuff. Oh, there's just Naevia's treatment notes. Oh, that's cool. Flatulence, rhubarb, ulcers, gentian, stomach pain, glucoriza, rheumatism, willow bark. Okay, boils aloe. So just give it to her now.
Feeling all right?
I figured out how to treat rheumatism.
Oh, I see. Well, what's the treatment?
Willow bark.
Willowback. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
Alright, I can do that.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did.
Honestly, I don't remember who
Alright.
Rufius is.
Well, thanks again for helping remove the thorn from the lion's paw. The spirit of Androcles smiles upon you.
Let's go back.
Oh, the murder.
Wait, I think I can make him turn to me.
Harvey.
Hello, Sensuous. Nah, he doesn't react to me anymore.
Fresh meat, huh?
That was so strange. Sometimes he rotates, sometimes he doesn't.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
There is... Oh, that's probably Rufus. The quest marker is moving.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Kinda sounds like a Khajiit. I now understand. Face is kinda like a Khajiit too. Hey, about your rheumatism.
What business is that of yours?
I figured out a treatment. Eat a pinch of this willow bark and you should feel better in no time.
Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one.
Who are you going to vote for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Anything I can do to change that?
No.
You said you owed me, remember?
Who do you want me to vote for?
Let's talk about something else for
Fine.
now. What's your story?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now.
Yeah, you told me about this. How did you end up here?
Not sure. I was fighting with the Sixth against Parthians in the east. Only my whole body was aching every time I took a swing of my gladius. It was the rheumatism. Relentless. Unending. Of course, I wasn't going to get any sympathy from my commander. So I started thinking, what if, in the next battle, I just didn't try as hard, you know? What if I let my guard down just long enough? Next battle came, and all I remember is this bloody great savage coming toward me. And I just loosened my grip, and then nothing. I woke up by the river. Some strange man in an eagle headdress had fished me out. Kamut Tabal, I think he called himself. Then I found this place, and that's it.
Thanks for sharing your story.
That's all right. It just feels good to finally tell someone about it. Thanks for listening.
I think he now can tell me more stuff. Because I helped him out. Do you know a way out of here?
No, I don't. I did hear a rumor that Aurelia, the tavern keeper, has been offering to sell a way out. But I barely have two sesterci to rub together.
She probably would sell some alcohol so that you fall asleep when somebody sins, and so the statues don't touch you because they think you're dead or something. What do you think about the golden rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival
Yeah, he
depends
told me this. What do you
I
mean?
mean, all this seems like...
What do you think is
I
coming?
don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues...
I think you're right. Okay, let's make him vote for Sentius.
Not sure No.
Vote for Sentius.
Fine. I'll vote for Sentius. But no more favors. We're square.
Yeah, okay.
See you around.
I'll be going. I wonder when the voting is taking place. Because if I come close to the gate, I think yeah, this woman is stuck in there. And then she would ask me to get to the exit.
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it. Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
What's your story?
You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the card, didn't you?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
So you took her with you after all. I think if he's here, he must be dead, and so he probably toppled her and himself as well.
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune.
Oh.
Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
People mentioned the memory lapse. Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Sounds like you got what you deserved.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Is it a sin to kind of melt down the golden statues? I wonder what would happen if somebody tried that. I need some Sylphian resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
How would I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
I don't have that kind of money.
Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
Steal the silphium resin from his stall. Oh, I could probably steal it, then run to the exit, and then I would have it. Yeah, that would probably work. Do you know of a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Thanks, I'll keep an eye out for them. I'll be going.
Very well. Another.
I have to steal your stuff real quick. Where is your stall, by the way? Sculpture of Ares. Yeah, that's nice. Somewhere here must be his stall, unless he's going home or something like that. Oh, look, that's a forum. Where are you going? This is. They got him while he was sleeping. Old scroll. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Dorothas the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city. For our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion, he deserves our admiration, but here I must depart from custom. For his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching and deserving of our contempt. Who among us has not awoken at night in a cold sweat fearing some sort of accidental transgression of the golden rule? All of us must accept that we are capable of error, whether from a momentary...
I just love springtime.
Yeah, I do. All of us have made that capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Damn, that's a lot of reading. Okay, I'll read all of it. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles that we live under is, I believe, merely a deception, and shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. Oh, that must be Malleus's speech. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating the many shall suffer for the sins of the one is evidence that the golden rule is very real, but that is logically unsound, for we cannot assume that the writers knew any more than we did. That this message was inscribed does not make it true, any more than if I were to inscribe Dorothas the Younger as a god. Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence that the golden rule is real. You need not remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around the city. It was I who collected them, placed them in a handcart. And placed them in the niches in which they sit today. I will not soon forget them, and yet I refuse to leap to the conclusion that they were once real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion sculpture Galatea to life, we do not believe it is true. Why should we take a different view here? So he moved all of these statues and placed them around the city. But ultimately these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove that the golden rule is falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point of our city's history. Let us see once and for all if the golden rule is real, as I strike you one with my fist. I have to see this. So I guess it's not one person who is sinning It could be basically anyone. But it's also kind of strange that if I don't walk in time to that place where the guy with the bow comes out of, then it's like he didn't exist. He would never come out. Damn, that's a lot of money. I have 500 denarii. What the hell is this place? Oh. It's weird how you get the flashlight out. There's lots of caves here. You have to kind of like roll it once, then it but if you do it twice, you just, it's a bit difficult, or at least could be. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. So there's ghosts. Oh, I cannot read this. There is no reading mode for it. I guess they only made those for the notes that matter, I guess. The place is called Accursed. Here Titius offers up his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and Trio, grasp it, eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees, and the 49 Belides, who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands, fetch again with incessant labor the water they have lost. So this is like the Death Realm, or I guess where people go after death, because all those people I think are in the Death Realm, kind of. Sisyphus, at least, I think, is. Damn, that's impressive for a shadow to be like that. Looks almost real. And also how the flashlight sways. Damn, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Although this kind of looks weird a bit. As if the shadow is basically on her. Or just behind. It's probably an illusion. Not sure it would have looked like this in IRL. Something off, okay. Can I climb this? This might be climbable if only they could support my weight. Oh, well. What does that mean? I'm too heavy for it. I cannot drop any items, I don't think. Damn, I wonder what's out there. Let's run back. It's maybe, is it like a maze of sorts? Yeah. Bottle of wine. Possibly the last bottle of wine. I have 2 of them already. Did I loot this? Oh, there must be an entrance. The chest over there. Let me look for it. If I turn right here, probably I could get there. Oh, it's...
There he is.
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Still
I'm
no
guessing
sign
that
of
Promethean
Santa.
fire's not for
I
sale.
haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Not bad.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Not at all.
From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
What's that you have there? Oh, that's so funny. I guess he was walking here.
Salve.
Don't you just love springtime?
Let's go rob someone. Reset all this. Model arena. A small wooden model of an arena, possibly Verona Arena, which was completed in the 1st century and is still in use today.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water,
There he is.
and the
Horatius?
tree you grasp
Looking a
at
bit troubled
eludes
there.
you.
Still no sign of Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about
Oh,
things you
it's
can't
the
control.
same conversation. Let's actually check. I have right now 623 denarii. I steal 15 from this chest.
What if there is?
The many shall suffer
Then we reset.
for the sins of the one.
Senchus. Poor Senchus, I made him run all this way. Oh, that's a statue. Thankfully, it's a bit stupid. Well. Oh, I think it missed. Thankfully. Oh, I got away with it. That's good to know.
So,
Corn Poppin, I need you to take care of some things urgently.
oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
What? Oh, that's interesting. Rufus is becoming agitated because of his rheumatism, but if you give him some of this willow bark, it will calm him down.
Poor guy. My uncle was a victim at rheumatism's altar, and he ended up killing himself. Alright, got it.
That's it, now go. Fast as you can.
I'll go. But once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Handsome.
Handsome. Okay, let's find our way to the market again, if I can do that. Okay, I'm at the forum. His market stall should be somewhere here. Oh, did he write it down? Sinner.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
Bottle of
That's why I've gotta
silphium
get you
resin, an
first before
extremely
someone else
valuable
beats me
ancient
to it.
Roman remedy for various afflictions. I steal it. Now we run.
The many shall suffer.
For a second I thought
Sins of the one.
that it was fine actually. Clank, clank, clank. You would think it's like an automaton or some sort. Maybe they are. Senchus is running for his life. Or I guess death.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and...
What can I tell him? We had this conversation before.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we have. No problem, see you later.
Handsome.
Now we go give her the medicine. Speak to the person who's dying. Although she's kind of like laying down, minding her business. She looks more annoyed than dying, to be honest. Let's see now. I mean, does it look like someone who's poisoned? I don't know, maybe. I don't see the pain.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman? She needs the resin of a plant called silphium.
Yeah, I have the resin.
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
I'm a time traveler.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
Do you know a way out of here?
I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just
Oh,
don't
she
get
stood up.
sick or injured here.
Now
I'll
she's
do
gonna
my
walk up.
best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on.
Yeah, I'll be
That's a
going. I have to talk to the person. Yulia.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
I think she might have poisoned herself. Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is this who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
Saga. Okay, I have all the time in the world. Yeah, that's actually pretty true.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
So you thought you'd be you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan?
I'm not proud of it, but yes, I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
Oh no.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes, and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Surely that would have broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned yourself?
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
Sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what will happen to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
That's pretty dark. Can I do anything to help?
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
How much will it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps I can help him too?
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it. He's still there. I
May
haven't
Apollo keep you safe.
talked to him, so he hasn't jumped. Equisia.
they?
Let's go to the villa first. Yeah, it's pretty okay so far. Does he have the key? Yeah, he has a second key. I could just keep taking them. Or I guess now it's just not locked. Let's talk to the person who is upstairs.
And now I make this solemn promise to you.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Yeah. I know. Where do you keep your valuables? Can we talk?
Talk? What business could you possibly have with me?
Why are you locked in this room?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
What's your story?
I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
Do you know a way out of here?
Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean, please leave.
Is he just gonna keep answering the same way? What do you think about the golden rule?
I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry up and leave.
I'll be going. Finally.
This is outrageous.
Yeah, I guess so. Damn, he has a lot of money. I could just steal it and run. Let's go.
The many shall suffer.
Oh my god.
For the sins of the one.
I guess the statues knew what's up. You could now pay for everyone. Probably buy her freedom and the freedom of Vulpius as well.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you would...
Maybe I could ask him to do some other things now.
So,
Julia is dying, but Lucretia can help her without this Sylphium. Take some of it and go quickly. Rufus is becoming agitated. Let me help Rufus first. That's it, now go. Because I want to see what happens if Malleolus wins the election. Can I talk to Aurelia now?
I love your clothes. So exotic. Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before. A certain learning and sophistication.
Oh, stop it. No, please go on. Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person.
How dare you? Get away from me, you pig.
Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone.
Oh, do us all a
that
favour and drink
always
hemlock, Captain Murder.
Yeah, I shouldn't have told you that.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Yeah, that's not the way. I'm kind of half expecting to for Secunda to start playing from Skyrim. It almost seemed like that would happen. I'm so rich now, it's insane.
What are you doing in here?
Hello. I have it.
What?
I have it.
Hopefully that was...
You won't believe me if I told you.
Look, if you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayer. You just... and in the... That's...
A collection of barbaric-looking medical implements, including forceps and shears. Wonder why they're particularly barbaric. Because it doesn't seem that way to me. Maybe if they were covered in blood or something like that. Julia woke up.
It's you. Was that... You mean my life? Our father found good husbands for my sisters. But I wasn't, cut out for that kind of life.
What's your story?
So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while. Until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But to be honest, sometimes I think dying in that fire might have been a blessing, given what's happened since.
And you have died. Although maybe if you die by drowning or something like that, then you go to this world instead. I cannot ask her what happened to who poisoned her anymore. Do you know a way out of here?
If that's your idea of a joke, it's not funny. Go away.
What?
I know what kind of person you are.
Damn, I did that. Shouldn't have asked.
May Apollo keep you safe.
I wonder if his money is still there. Could I just go like infinitely and take the money each time? I guess it was open all this time, I just didn't figure it out. Maybe... Oh, it unlocks with the key. Now I get it.
I'm not supposed to be in here.
My bad, I'll be going now.
I should hope so. This is outrageous.
Yeah. There's like the same amount of money. Even. So I guess if I'm ever low on Denarii, I know what to do. Can talk to Malleolus about his
Demetrius
wife.
doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
I can't tell him anything.
I trust you can see yourself.
Yeah.
What now?
What now? I need to speak with Elpius.
He's not here.
Where is he?
Dunno. The little Capet murder escaped earlier this morning, while I was taking Yulia to the clinic. He can't have gone far, but if you find him, tell him the punishment he gets for coming back on his own won't be as bad as if I have to go looking for him.
Okay, I'll be going.
Whatever.
I know where to find them. Don't remember how to get there though.
Man's doomed to lose the election today.
You goad me into an argument. It won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot had something to do with Centilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the Golden Rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
Damn, that's gonna burn. We could ask Elpius probably.
Citizen,
Citizen?
name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
I cannot give him... Or maybe he already got it.
So you're up.
Don't remember if I gave it to him. Or at least I gave it to... the other guy. The bald man. And then he gave it to him. Or something like that. So far it doesn't seem like you're pressed against time much. Like, I don't think ziplines are that important really. At least at the moment.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Actually, I really need to talk to Ulpius.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll
Battle
fall.
music.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Where is my mouse? It disappeared. Okay, it's back. But not on the menu for some reason. Okay, now it's back again. I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And
is this what Saint Tila would want?
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone.
You'd never believe me if I told you.
Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over.
Maybe I can help solve your problem.
It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact. And she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that.
I've already saved Yulia's life, and I'd like to help you too. Probably he won't believe me. Maybe Lucretia was able to get some Silphium in time to save her life. She's going to be fine.
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
I happen to have 2,000 denarii.
Really?
Actually, I do.
Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
No, you'd be free.
You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers?
Yeah.
It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Here's your money.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
Don't worry about it.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Would I have to do this each time? Oh, he's running for his life. Look at him go.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Yulia! I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
It wasn't for lack of trying. And now Malleolus is going to... Wait. Why do you look so happy?
We're free. Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again.
What? How?
The newcomer arranged it somehow.
Really? That's incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
May Apollo keep you safe.
So, what now?
Are they?
I guess they could vote if they wanted. So maybe that's what it's for. Oh, he changed his mind. What's going on? Where are you going? Maybe I have to talk to him.
Shalom.
Shalom. Can we talk about Scintilla?
Scintilla and I were in love. And then, 22 days ago, she went missing.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Alright. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolus's villa, I heard a young woman singing. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I wasn't allowed out, so once everyone else was asleep, I climbed up the inside of the villa and onto the roof, just to see where that sound was coming from. And that's when I saw her. Standing in the garden of the magistrate's villa, I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my chin on my knees. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. And then she looked up and saw me and she smiled. I knew at that moment the fates had brought me to her. And from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything for her. And so for weeks on end, each night I'd climb out of the villa and into her father's garden. We'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. Like having our own vineyard. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her. They said she'd vanished in the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was.
Is it possible she escaped somehow?
All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way anybody could have killed her under the Golden Rule. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how, or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened?
Wouldn't I... That would break the rule, probably. Who might have taken her?
My guess? Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the Golden Rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things.
I've already tried that. There's no sign of Scintilla in there.
Really? I was sure he was hiding something in there. I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least everywhere I could get to. There are still two places I've never been able to reach. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then I suppose Scintilla could have too. The only other place she could be is somewhere in the Cistern network. I remember hearing that Dooley had been poking around in the upper Cistern before he was locked up. So you could ask him about it, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll do that, I
Alright,
guess.
friend. Thanks for the chat.
I should ask him how he came to be here.
Shalom.
Have you had any more ideas?
I feel like I've looked everywhere. First, I remember. Alright, friend.
He stops talking to me.
Shalom.
Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. What's your story?
You mean where am I from and all that? Judea, originally. But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name and spent most of my life in the Jewish district of Trans-Tiberim, across the Tiber from the main city. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward the river and I, listening to my inner contrarian, ran the other way. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos, full of people with all their belongings in carts and brigands preying on them. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. So I picked up a branch from the side of the road and went to defend them. I can only assume they got the better of me because the next thing I knew, I was waking up in a forest, by a river not far from here, with no memory of how I got there. It's strange though, because I still had my purse on me. Why would a robber knock me unconscious and throw me in a river, but not take my coins?
That's odd. Most of the others were in Rome before they woke up in the forest, but you were saying you were several hours away.
You're right. I always just assumed the river carried me, but I'm not sure I was anywhere near the Tiber when I fell. I'm sure it'll all make sense if we ever get out of here.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around talking about theology, law, and collective punishment, so I guess you're looking for a pithy summary? You remind me of an old story from my people about Hillel the Elder. He was approached by a Gentile and asked to explain the entire Torah while he stood on one foot. Obliging, he replied, "What is hateful to you, do not do to another. That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn." Of course, what I want to know is, what kind of a god sees a young woman abducted and does nothing about it? Not my god. That's for sure.
Didn't know if she was abducted for sure.
Maybe you don't. I feel it in my bones.
Okay, fair enough. I'll be going.
All right, friend.
We could go to the cistern, or... Do I have a quest log of some sort? Yeah, I do. I have to find a creative way to get into upper cistern. Let's find... Some people mentioned the coin. I guess we could talk to Equitia now.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
I've been asking people about how they wound up here, trying to find the pattern.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed?
Some people mentioned the coin.
Yes, I suppose that could be But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else?
Oh, what else? Some people mentioned the river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
Some people mentioned memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Yeah, a young woman.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Karen.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie. How would you not know that? I thought it was her hair or something.
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
It's not safe in there. An assassin just arrived.
What? How could you know that? And why are you talking to me instead of doing something about it? Please, go and stop him and come back to me once we're no longer in danger.
Well, I guess I have to talk to the guy. Ask him for a bow.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. I'm glad you...
I noticed the graffiti. Why does someone think you're a sinner?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Ah, I see.
And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagos, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
Go on.
In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Do you know who's writing the graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Ones that worship Jesus.
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
I think I know who it is.
Really? Who is it?
It's Rufus. I found an incomplete letter to you in his house. I don't remember that.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Not yet.
I would talk to him myself. I think that would just inflame the situation. It's...
I'll be
nice
going.
to talk.
I guess I could ask him afterwards for a bow. Or something. Hopefully. Where is Rufus? It's not here. I may need to get creative. For sure. Obtain a bow. The sinner. Figure out how to stop his harassment. I don't even get a pointer as to where he is. I think he usually walks here. Maybe not this way though. This is interesting. Locked door. Oh, maybe you could walk in there when it's all going down.
Handsome.
Haven't I told you
Ixian turns.
to bugger off? Guess not yet.
Hello? Hello?
Do you know a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
It's not what I said. I asked if you know a way out of here. I can try. Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what. Like
Maybe it's time we had the new magistrate.
Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my
Why
prison.
Galerius, a
Hannibal said
magistrate?
it was in the systems. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very
Don't you
precious.
just love springtime?
I'll get right on it. Galerius,
Salve, Dooley.
how
How
do
you
we
doing
get
today?
to
I'm
make you
sad.
magistrate?
Am I going to die?
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Salve. Any news about my... Have you...
Not yet. Who are you going to vote
Well,
for?
Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Anything I can do to change that?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking. Nice to talk to you.
He probably has a bow somewhere here, right? Maybe?
This area is private. Please leave.
Yeah, he doesn't. An anvil? Roman anvil? It looks a lot without a horn, but that must be a more modern innovation. It's just a metal cube.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think, whatever is in there, it has to be important.
I could just take his... no, that would be stealing actually.
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings. I'm Georgie. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
I'm from beyond the edge of the known world.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Who are you going to vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Anything I can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
I'll be going.
I hope that... This part of my shop is off limits, even for you, my sartorial.
Where is Rufus? God, that's a loud bird.
Salve.
Yulia is here, but no Rufus. Ah.
Greetings and salutations.
Salve.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked.
What did you do?
How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
I'm reliving the same day over and over again.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
Like Sisyphus, how so?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again for all eternity. Just like you.
That's how it feels to learn how to play guitar.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
Thanks, Galerius.
Anytime, friend. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Where is Rufus, damn it? A mill. A stone mill, it looks like flour and grain are poured from the above and ground between the stones as the handles are rotated. Oh, that's interesting.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Where is Rufus?
Help! A man arrived in the baths. Real narc. You have to do something. None of us do.
Don't
The
have a
magistrate
weapon.
made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow. You'll just have to.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. I have to hide.
Do not go in there.
What? Why?
Just trust me.
All right. Fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
Would it crush me if I walked in? What? Oh, you are dead. Okay. I think I'll stream for 10 more minutes or so. Continue this tomorrow. It's turning out pretty interesting. Although the assassin does seem kind of weird. Like he decides to go out only when you approach him. Oh. Damn, that's pretty sick.
Make sure you stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment.
Oh, damn it.
Greetings and salutations.
Oh, is that Rufus? Looks kinda like him. Yeah.
Ah, you again.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about.
I know it was you. I found an incomplete letter to him in your quarters.
Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry, mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
Okay, no problem.
Ah,
Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, military man, knows what he's doing.
Anything I can do to
No.
change that? What? Why?
See you around.
Maybe he changed his mind. But if I give him the willow bark, perhaps then it could work.
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations. Okay, let's talk to
Make
Virgil.
sure you stay away from that empty. Any news about my secret admirer? Have you spoken to him about it?
Yeah, he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which was making him agitated and compounding some of his other personal issues.
Ah, poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he wants to help clean up his graffiti too.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
What's your story?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people. That kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
I just got an idea. Maybe I could lure the assassin into the temple. Yeah, that would probably work. Yeah, let's skip the lore for now.
I like that. We're going to get on well, friend.
Do you know a way out of here?
You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the golden rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
What do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novio Magus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
Yeah, I see. I'll
Nice
be
to
going.
talk to you.
How do I get a bow? I have no idea. I mean, he asked Virgil.
You look well, my sartorial friend.
Maybe I could ask Dacius. Looks busy, okay. What are you busy with? Is he waiting for Virgil to start speaking to him? Dude, I'm busy.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Can I speak to him now?
Welcome back.
About the bow? No, I
Nice
cannot.
to talk to you.
That's weird.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire.
Cannot
Very
ask
well.
him about the bow either. Oppius the thief stole my purse and I...
I'm hiding.
Okay. What other quests we could do? The is key to the upper system by releasing him from prison. And to release him from prison, I have to make Galerius the magistrate. Ask him about training for the magistrate. Let's do that.
Fortune smile on you,
Oh, there
brother.
he is.
Salve again? Now, what's on your mind?
Ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
I don't think Malleolus is going to help Tully.
And how could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
I guess we'll have to wait and see whether Malleolus frees him or not.
I suppose you're right.
I could probably bluff my way into it. Tell him that he's not gonna do it anyway. Since he believes I know everything.
Alright, friend. Hope you find a way to break that
Yeah. Let's call the election. Tweety is probably in the temple, I guess. Yeah, there she is.
Let me know when you've clicked.
Oh no. Oh.
Salve.
Everything is in the temple. Okay, let's see. Maybe that would work.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
In the temple. Yes, I saw him worshipping in a small round shrine just inside the city. Second building on your left.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
Yeah. Go on then.
Filthy, lying degenerate.
Emperor, by the order of Emperor Nero, all loyal sons of Rome are ordered to hunt and execute the arsonist and murderer Tiberius Quintus Crispus, a citizen from the Aventine district of Rome. He's about 40 to 50 years old. He is average height, average build, has dark hair, and one green eye and one blue eye. He's typically clean shaven. He's a known associate of cultists and suffers from delusions of grandeur. Ask Malleolus whether he's Quintus. Yeah, let's get the stake in the bow. No problem.
Salve.
Hey. Yeah.
You took care of him?
Yeah, he had a tragic accident in the shrine.
An accident? So, it's over? Oh God, that's such a relief. I really thought we were all going to die. I do have a question though. That shrine, the one I was going to hide in, did you know it was going to collapse?
No.
Really? Then how? Oh, I see. I should probably keep my big mouth shut then. Sorry. I promise, nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. That was really clever. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Need anything?
I'll be going.
All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Yeah, sure. Let's go get what we need from the buffs finally. Oh, she's not here. Where's Equitia? Maybe on the forum.
How'd you do?
Oh, she's at the prison.
I take it you've cleared the way to the baths? Follow me, but don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Oh, there's this thing you can jump through.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous light! But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute.
Oh, flashbacks.
Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This place is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So you're dead?
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
You're trying to keep this from me.
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know. Why didn't you all recognize Karen immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Perhaps. That's all the questions I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Yeah, I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of Underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Is Pluto the god of the Underworld? Can't we just escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
So there's 2 endings, it seems. Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the golden rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Hercules hadn't manipulated time.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you'll stand a chance.
Would be so cool if I had a gun, like, but I have this here.
I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
Interesting. What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten, and there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god, theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Why would Pluto care about that particular god?
I don't know. But perhaps
That wasn't the question. Ask her how to find the Greek plaque.
Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Georgius. Probably, yes. What about the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
Yeah, that would probably be good, but I cannot ask her because she wouldn't talk to me, I guess. What about the mystery plaque?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Perhaps. Tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
That's... So she might be willing to work against him to help us.
If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I think I have. I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful if a little cryptic. Perhaps.
Fascinating. Perhaps she is a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Not yet.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
Okay, I'm ready to get started.
Alright. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as...
OBS
Although
has
you may not
disconnected.
meet her with
Reconnection
Proserpina on your
successful.
side.
And then, now she runs away. I'm gonna get you. She's not that fast of a runner. At least not as... that other guy, I don't remember his name. Ul something. Ulpius, I think. Yeah, Ulpius runs the quickest, I think, of all of the people here. Would she disappear now? No, she's running. It's just that the doors behind them it's all black. Well, I guess, yeah, I have to end the stream now. Have to go. It's a bit late for me, so thanks for watching if you're watching the VOD or maybe watching live, not sure. And I'll guess I'll see you tomorrow. It's fun playing this for sure. Funny sometimes too. Okay, see you later.